Duck
quack
noises. Quack quack. Duck
quack
noises.
quack quack
Duck noises.
quack quack
Dad,
Quack quack noises.
quack
the loons are
Quack,
welcoming
quack,
us
quack,
back to the
quack,
podcast.
quack
Quack quack noise.
quack
Quack quack quack.
The loons
Quack, quack,
certainly
quack,
are.
quack, quack.
Welcome, everybody. Movie Nights with Dad, episode 40. That feels
40,
cool.
Starting out with a real stretch for a cold opening there.
That's right.
But what else are we going to do? We have to pay homage to the loons.
To the loons.
To the loons.
To the original loons. Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn. No. Yeah. Guys, thank you for following along this long. If you're new here, Movie Nights with Dad is a podcast with my dad, who is an actor who has been acting since forever, and he's got tons of experience, and we talk about the acting, and we talk about movies, and it's great. What are you doing over there while I'm talking?
I'm
to
yawning.
camera?
I'm sorry. It's been a long
Dare
day.
you. How dare you. It's okay. We're in the middle of a filming block. It's great.
Yes.
Hello,
Hello, everybody.
Today we're doing On Golden Pond. We mentioned that last week episode with one of your favorites, I think. But this summer we're doing Summer from the Stage, where we're picking 8 movies for June and July that Dad has been involved with a theater production of. And today is kind of an outlier because it's the only one out of the 8 where you were not acting in it, but you directed it.
That's right.
So
Yep.
he directed a local theater production of On Golden Pond, and we watched it. So stick around. We will talk about the whole movie. We're going to spoil it with the ending and stuff like that. So if you don't want that to happen, you should stop watching now. But if you just want to hang out and you don't care if it's spoiled, that's okay too. But yeah, Dad,
Yes, son.
what'd you think of this?
Well,
Had you seen this movie before?
I had seen this movie before. So
Okay.
this was a situation where I had seen the movie, I would probably say 3 times before
Wow.
I directed it.
Okay.
Yes.
Did that have an influence of like you deciding to direct it?
Maybe there was some familiarity.
Sure. Yeah.
I do not like to direct. I'm just going to tell you, I don't like the casting process.
How many times have you directed things? It hasn't been often, right? I mean, you definitely.
Twice.
Wow.
I mean, at the theater, at the adult theater level.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, I've directed a lot for kids, but I don't like to cast. It's easier to cast for kid theater because there are typically several roles that kids can play.
Yeah.
Kids have to learn early on that they can't have every role that they want, but children's theater, especially if you write your own material, which I have done, you can give everybody a little moment in the spotlight and everybody's happy.
Right.
But and it's not about people being happy, and yes, you do have to adjust to not getting a part that you want, but I don't like to cast. I want to give everybody a shot, which is not realistic, but
Sure.
Just like I just directed my second show in all these years, and there were 4 spots.
Mm-hmm.
There really were 4 in this play, more than that, a little bit more.
Yeah.
And there were
basically 4.
Yeah, there were 11 actresses who tried out, and I had to cast 4, and it was hard because really all 11 were pretty good, and they brought something different to the roles.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't really like to direct.
Yeah. Well, you directed this back in 2002,
Long
right?
time ago.
So it's been a minute.
You were but a wee lad.
A wee
back then.
lad. I think I was 4 years old.
Yeah, you were little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you watched the movie like 3 times, and you
Yeah.
also mentioned to me that you kind of love this movie. You like
I
it's
love
one
the
of
movie. Yeah.
not one of your like. Would you say it's one of your favorites?
It's one of my tops. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
On my classic list.
Yeah.
Well, I love Henry Fonda. I love Katharine Hepburn. I love Jane Fonda.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the story. I think what I like about it the most is that I'm sorry, I have something in my eye.
Oh, you're good.
I think that this movie was made at a time when blockbusters were coming up on the scene, like
Yeah.
E.T.
Right.
and, Star Wars and all of those movies.
The 80s.
Yes, the
Yeah.
early 80s.
Yeah.
And this little movie about two aging folks, just a simple little family drama, became this huge, lovely movie.
Yeah.
And I think I just love it because of the performances, really.
Cool.
I've always had a heart for older folks and like being around them, like listening to their stories,
Yeah.
like helping take care of them. And so I've always thought this was a special movie.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
And watching Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn, who've been around so long, still have that multi-layered talent just blows you away, really. And
Yeah.
they both won Oscars for it. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. This is one of those movies that I went in really knowing nothing about it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so when I watched it, I was like, okay, I know Henry Fonda because, and I've talked about this before. We're 40 episodes in, right?
Yeah.
And I would not have considered myself like a classic Hollywood old film buff
Right.
beforehand.
Right.
And now I'm sitting here and I go, okay, now I know who Henry Fonda is.
Mhm.
Now I know who Katharine Hepburn is, and I know Jane Fonda just because of her relation to Henry Fonda.
So it was interesting. Can I interrupt you? Like you've seen Henry Fonda in the Lady Eve, and I think that's the only one we've done.
No, 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw him at kind of two different parts
stages,
of his life.
right?
Pretty young and then older.
Yeah.
And then you've seen Katharine Hepburn,
Yeah, and Philadelphia Story.
Philadelphia Story.
I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
And so
I may have seen her in other stuff just like outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
But
so what did you think? I mean, then this is fast forwarding.
yes.
She's 74. He's
Right.
older than that. They're both. I mean, she's still in pretty good shape, but he's very decrepit in this movie.
Well, he I think he passed away 5 months after
he won the Oscar.
winning the Oscar.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I mean, yeah, he only had limited time left.
So
after this.
do you have anything? I'm putting you on the spot,
No,
but did you have
please.
anything to say about him? Watching them play parts and act later in life after you've seen.
Oh
them?
yeah. What's interesting is like Katharine Hepburn still has that like, oh well, you see here, like she still has the high
Authoritative.
like
yeah.
the it's the transatlantic accent.
Clench teeth. Type
Yes,
thing.
oh hello darling, like
Yeah,
just that kind
yeah,
of accent, which I love, and so she still has that like same Katharine Hepburn like ambiance about her
Yeah.
and stuff, and Henry Fonda, I guess I've always because of the films I've watched him in, he always just seems like this sweet guy to me,
Yeah.
who is like good, I guess. I don't know anything about him,
Mm-hmm.
but like. So seeing him as like an old man who's just kind of cranky and fed up with everything was kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, what's interesting is I knew about a little bit about them, and then I watch this movie and I go, all right, that was a good movie. And then I delve into like the history and the background of like the awards and like Jane Fonda buying this and like their relationship and things like that. Then it makes it this like really touching movie.
Cool.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I went into it from like that perspective, but I mean, I guess we could talk a little bit about that. Because so this was based on Ernest Thompson wrote a play in 1979 on Golden Pond, and Jane Fonda purchased the film specifically to kind of give her father like a role, really. And because she really wanted her dad, Henry Fonda, to play Norman, which is kind of funny. Like I feel like if people know nothing about the Fondas and they watch this movie and I went, hey, did you know that Jane Fonda is actually Henry Fonda's daughter? They'd be like, oh, duh. They look exactly alike.
Yeah.
I think they just have that similar face. It's really funny to me. I'm like, yeah, you definitely are his daughter. But they, and I don't know much about their relationship, but I just know that there was some real life father-daughter tension between them.
I think Henry Fonda in real life was tough to get along with.
Okay, well then there you go. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of the critics or like reviews said it was like impossible to like separate the performance from reality because it felt very just like real to what was going on. And then Henry Fonda ended up receiving his only Oscar ever. and then passed away 5 months after receiving that
Yep.
Oscar.
Yep.
So that's kind of the background to this. It also, you know, Katharine Hepburn is still in like the twilight of her career as well, even though she lived a while after this as well.
Yeah.
But they also had never been in a film together,
Right.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they very much are of that same era. They,
Mhm.
you know, they were never co-stars, but it's kind of funny that they, and
Right.
and it's like that they, oh right, I wrote this down. Despite decades of parallel careers, they had never met before this film.
Yeah, no, they
which
had
is
never met.
wild to
Right.
think about, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's on their first day of shooting for this film. Katharine Hepburn gave Henry Fonda a cap that had belonged to Spencer Tracy.
Spencer Tracy. That's
And yeah, who was her longtime companion. Who
and
died.
then Henry Fonda turned around. He was a painter, and
Yes.
painted a picture with the hat.
Yep.
And so that was special.
Yeah, and he also had 200 lithographs made and personally signed and sent one to every single person who worked on the production.
Yep. Cool.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
Lithograph is like watercolor paintings or something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess so this is your fourth watch, not including directing it,
Yeah.
right? The fourth watch of this movie.
Well, and I watched it 3 times before I directed it. I've watched it several times
Oh, okay.
afterwards.
So
yeah.
what's that like? Because that's a different experience than I have, right?
Mhm.
So what was it like watching it this time for you? How did that experience you have behind it?
You
help
know,
going into
I've
it?
watched it so many times because I love it so much.
Yeah.
I just love the whole thing.
Yeah.
I really almost feel like I'm going back to the cabin for the
Aw.
summer.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I
cool.
really want to go to that. That I believe that place is called. It's not called Swan Lake. But
Okay.
It's called something.
Wait, it's a real place?
It's a real place.
I don't think I
It's
knew that.
not on Golden Pond either. But
Right.
it's. I want to say maybe it's Squab Lake or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone probably knows. But
Okay.
I think I would love to go visit there. But
Yeah.
you know, you can imagine that they drive from the city or drive from wherever they live in suburbs or wherever it is to a place that they've been going. Ethel, I always took it that it was one of Ethel's childhood places. Maybe her family owned that house.
Oh, okay.
And because she talks about going to camp and singing the On Golden Pond song, and
Okay, so that's where you got that from.
I just kind of think that it was probably a family destination for Ethel, and maybe I don't know, maybe
Norman.
Norman Walter.
You just want to call him Henry. and
Walter
Catherine.
was the name of the big fish that he was trying to
That's
catch.
right. Yeah.
And our dog
Walter.
also is named Walter.
Hi,
But
Walter.
anyway, yeah, I've really found myself really kind of in the story, like imagining walking around the woods and taking the boat over to the store and gassing it up, and and so I kind of just feel like I'm kind of just so familiar with it that you know.
Well, that's cool to have movies like that though,
yeah,
because I have movies like that where you just put it on and you're like,
yeah,
it feels
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
About Time is like that for me.
Yeah.
I want to go to oh my gosh, Cornwall and go
Yeah,
hang
Cornwall.
out by the sea, you know?
Mhm,
that's
right,
that's what I feel
exactly,
like with that
exactly.
movie. But yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Right.
during the filming of the loon watching canoe scene, do you know about this?
No.
I
don't think so.
It's the scene whenever they both flip off the speedboat,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, right. Buzz off.
But yeah, buzz
Yeah.
off. Which is funny. So that speedboat apparently turned over their canoe in real life during one of the takes. And Fonda's health was
He's not in good shape.
Was not in good
Yeah.
shape. So they had to like rush in and immediately like wrap him in blankets and like get him back in shape and stuff. But the speedboat was piloted by the screenwriter Ernest Thompson himself, who was like mortified that he had turned over their canoe. But yeah, I mean everyone was okay, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing little fun facts here and there. But yeah, I guess some of the like discussion. Speaking of the loons themselves, as a director of this, I would love to ask you about some of the story and what you thought about that and how you felt. So like you said, Ethel and Norman are returning to this place. You know, they've probably been going to it for years.
Yeah.
What do, because there's such a theme throughout this, what do you think the loons actually symbolize in this story?
Well, I think they symbolize a lot of things.
Okay.
They're mentioned at the beginning. They're mentioned at the end.
Right.
They say hello. They say goodbye.
Yeah.
Norman seems to be very much connected to them emotionally.
Okay.
When they catch a dead loon, he and Billy catch a dead loon when they're fishing.
Yeah.
And Norman just can't even look.
Yeah.
Throw it back in, you know.
Right.
And I think to Norman, they symbolize his struggle with aging. I think they symbolize his struggle to be around people.
Yeah.
You know, I think they also represent mortality to him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can see when he hears them, he wants to like dismiss it by saying, "Oh, Ethel's imitating them," and he's saying, I hope our guests don't hear you doing that. They're going to think you're nuts." But you can watch him when he hears the loons.
Yeah.
It affects him. I think it gives him a sense of peace. When they go out on the boat and he's looking in the binoculars, and at one point he's like, "Oh God, they're huge," but he's got the binoculars backwards.
Yeah.
She says, "Turn it around, Norman," or whatever. But
no, I think she said, "Turn it around, Norman." and her,
you do
Katharine,
a really good Katharine Hepburn impersonation.
I'm gonna go as her for Halloween.
Right. There you go. Don't start. So I really think, I never give you just a pat answer, but I think that the loons really, if I had to pick one thing, I think that they symbolize mortality to him. But I also think they give him peace because they are the sound of a quiet place of solitude for him too. And the movie keeps coming back to the loons, because I think they mean things to a lot of people in the audience.
Yeah.
And they symbolize returning home, or at least to a really familiar place. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, I think I agree with you, by the way. I think the loons represent so much, and I kind of like that it's just kind of there.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of throughout the story, you just feel them and hear them, and they're kind of always around. In that way, they can symbolize so much.
Right.
I wanted to ask, how did you guys do that in the play that you directed? I mean, you didn't have like actual ducks.
Can't even remember. I don't think we had sound effects even.
Right. Because it was, I mean, for context, it was very early on in your theater companies. I mean, you guys have been around for 4 years at that point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of hard.
3
to do.
years or so. We might have had some loons. We probably did have some loon sound. But I will tell you this. That was back when you really, it was kind of iffy, like music you could use, and we used music from the original soundtrack. And
Whoa.
And then we also used a logo from the soundtrack album in our playbill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can't do that
Could
today.
get in big trouble.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well,
but anyway,
kind of cool.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So, speaking of the loons, and you talked about like Norman, kind of relating his mortality to them and things like that. I wanted to connect that with Ethel and how she kind of manages Norman, but also is like the emotional engine of this story.
Yeah.
She kind of like moves things along, because she has to manage Norman, manage Chelsea, kind of keep everyone connected.
Yeah.
But and the film, I think the film kind of treats that as, well, she's loving, she's caring, she's taking care of everyone. But like, do you think that's putting too much on Ethel? Like at what point do Chelsea and Norman take some responsibility for, because like Ethel kind of has to own Norman's accountability for his own actions and explain it to Chelsea. And then she has to take for Chelsea and then try to connect her with Norman. And it's a little like, man, this is way too much on Ethel. I don't know. What did you think about that?
I don't know. I think Ethel probably has taken that role on herself.
Yeah.
I think she's I think she not only had to, I think she felt it was, she was the best person for the job.
Yeah.
I think early on she probably saw that there was going to be conflict because Chelsea and Norman, from what we hear in the movie, have had conflict for a long time.
Right.
So I just think that she's probably taken that on herself.
Yeah.
She kind of gets fed up in the end, and she just says, "Aren't you tired of it all?
Yeah.
Aren't you tired of it, Chelsea?"
Yeah.
And so you can see her, she's always tries to be so upbeat and, oh, no, now, don't talk like that. She's as thin as a rail. Don't call her a little fat girl and all this stuff.
Right.
And I think finally Ethel's just like, well, I think she says, what does she say? She says, Chelsea, Norman is 76 years old or however old he is. He has heart palpitations. And when exactly do you think this relationship is going to start?
Yeah.
And she just lays it out there.
Yeah.
And I think Chelsea says, I'm afraid of him. And Ethel says, well, he's afraid of you. So you have a lot in common, whatever. So she pretty much just says it,
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, that's good.
And do you notice Katharine Hepburn uses the word bore a lot? She's always worried about being a bore.
Oh, yeah?
And if you watch any of her interviews, she will mention, I just was always so terrified I'd be a bore to somebody. So when she gets in that, aren't you tired of it all, Chelsea? Bore.
Yeah.
And that was ad-libbed.
Yeah.
Because that's a Katharine Hepburn
It's a Katharine
word.
Hepburnism.
But, isn't that boring? But she
a bore.
Yeah, she uses that word a lot.
That's so
But
funny.
yeah, she just, she's Katharine Hepburn. She always manages to play Katharine Hepburn, but yet she's such a great actress that she convinces you that she's somebody else.
Yeah, right.
Too.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's good. I think at some point, when do Chelsea and Norman have to start? Or let me phrase it like this: who do you think is kind of who did you side with between Chelsea and Norman? Because I found myself siding with Chelsea, just being because she's the kid, But I think that. And I think at some point you kind of have to go, man, does this guy Norman, is he going to actually take accountability or is he just going to bark at everybody the whole time? What did you think about that?
I sided with Chelsea.
Yeah.
I always blame the parents if the kids are messed up. So there you go. That's why.
Yeah.
I blame him. However, I also think that kids get to a point in their life, especially if they have children of their own, where they understand their parents, and because you've said it, you and Mom did the best you could. I got to that point with my parents. Yeah. Any of the stuff that you felt you were, something was neglected, or all kids feel like they missed out on something.
Yeah,
and then you end up understanding it. However, Chelsea had no kids,
right?
So
sure, yeah.
So therefore, I think in a way, I mean, they each contributed to the dysfunction between them, but I do think I sided more with Chelsea because, such deep wounds from obviously him not being her friend, which is what she wanted.
Yeah, because it's like as an adult child, all you can really ask for from your parents is to. Because every parent is going to mess you up. Every parent, it's just how it is. Parents are going to mess their kids up. It's like there's a saying. It's like parents give you the trauma they had from their parents plus a little extra. It's like something else. And it's like all you can do as an adult child is go, hey, I need you to take accountability for this, and then to apologize for it and say you're sorry. And I think if a parent does that. what else are you going to do? Change the past?
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's
Yeah, there's
nothing.
nothing you
They
can
made
do
mistakes, and so I think
Right.
that's where I agree with you, but I'm also like. So, but at the same time, Norman does not take accountability.
No.
Does not say he's sorry.
And
You
for
know,
overall, mostly you don't get that, especially
Yeah.
depending on what generation your parents are from.
yeah,
They are not gonna. They're either they don't have the social skills to resolve it,
yeah,
or they really don't feel like they did anything wrong.
right, yeah.
That's just the time. That's just the time in which you were raised, and
Right.
You know, whatever it is.
Well,
so.
and you kind of get that from Norman. He doesn't give her
Right.
any apology or anything.
Right.
And I think Chelsea just has to go, all right, well, this is how it is, which is her being the bigger person.
Right.
I think.
Right.
But I think, and also at the same time, where I think Chelsea is wrong is she is holding on to things from the past that she can't, and it's actually hurting her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have to let that stuff go and just kind of look for what you can. You know, like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, she's very bitter, and
Yeah.
at one point, she says to Norman, when she's at the cabin with Bill and Billy,
Mm-hmm.
she says, "You seem to enjoy playing games with people. Why is that? You know, whatever it is."
Yeah.
And she's got a lot she needs to say to him, but he's not going to satisfy her with his explanation. He's like, "What? What are you talking about?" You know,
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
He's not going to be tender about talking about any of it.
Yeah.
And Ethel always tries to redirect.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Very dysfunctional.
yes,
But yeah,
terribly so.
Yeah. But no, it's such it makes for a great movie.
Yeah.
Just all that
Yeah.
dysfunction,
Oh, sure.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cool. Well, so you directed this on stage, and as a director, you have to know all the characters, even the actors playing those characters, and you have to know every relationship in the story. Whereas maybe an actor might just go, okay, here's my part, here's where I fit in this, here's who I need to be.
Right.
What do you, with this one being the only one that you're directing, how is that different for you, like preparing a script or preparing for this and like reading through a script than like being an actor and reading through a script, essentially? Like what kind of stuff were you doing? All that.
I really just think that you had to go with, when you audition for a play and you get a chance to find out a little bit ahead of time, you focus on characterization and what the character needs to bring across. When you're directing, you really just have to have people go up on stage and read for you.
Yeah.
You still focus on what the character's bringing across, but you really just look for who's putting out what you need as far as individual characters and chemistry between characters.
Yeah.
So it's just you just have to look for how people sound, how they look. They need to look
Totally.
believable.
Yeah. I couldn't
back
play
when I directed this.
I couldn't play Ethel.
Right. Yeah. Back when I directed this, we did not have a lot of choices.
Sure. The
we
talent
were
pool's kinda
fairly
smaller.
new. Well,
because you were new.
I am not saying we didn't have talented people. I'm just saying we did
Just
not
because
have,
you were new.
We did not have a lot of choices.
Yeah.
So you
exactly.
end up looking for who's directable.
Yeah.
Who you can work with.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I really think I would like the opportunity to do it again.
Oh,
with
interesting.
more people to choose from.
Yeah.
I guess is what I would say.
Would you like to direct it again, you think?
I don't know.
Yeah. So
Maybe. I don't like to direct. So
Yeah.
No.
do you think, so you don't like it, do you think you're good at it? That's such an interesting question, right?
The people that I just directed, I directed a show last summer called Savannah Sipping Society. It was great, and the reason it was great is because I had a super great assistant director and a really good cast, really good crew. I did very little. I had a great set crew who built the set. I really didn't do a whole lot of work.
Okay.
I would tell the actresses how I wanted them to do something, the way I wanted them to move, blocking, on stage, of course.
Right.
Where I wanted them to pause. Sometimes I'd ask them things like, how do you think she feels right now?
Yeah.
Sort of that. What was your question?
Do you think you're a good director? Like, do you think
I
you're
think
good at it?
I think I know what comes across good to an audience. I think I
Okay.
know about timing. I think I know pacing.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good at casting.
Okay.
But do I direct? I don't know. The cast will tell you I apologize too much because I'd say, okay, ladies, I'm sorry, but I want to, la 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 la. I'm sorry, like that, you know.
Yeah.
And finally they were like, stop telling us you're sorry. Just tell us what you want. You are the director. So you know, because I never want anyone to feel like, you know,
You think they're doing a bad job?
yeah. Plus, I always hate it when a director's like, here's how I want you to say this line.
Mm.
And I really kind of said, well, I'm not going to be like that. Well, I was like that.
Yeah.
So if my assistant director right now, shout out to Rachel, is watching, she will say, yeah, you talked a good game, but you still kind of once in a while would tell people how to read a line. I just always feel like if I see something out in the audience while I'm directing a show that I feel like can get a bigger laugh, bigger reaction of the audience, make the rest of the other supporting characters look good, or the supporting characters make the lead actors look good, which this was an ensemble play that I did before. But if there's any way to get a laugh or get a better reaction, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So your question is, do I feel like I'm a good director? I feel like I'm really wishy-washy. So maybe not.
That's okay.
So
You've only,
I
how many
just-
times have you directed? Twice, you said?
I mean, adult play.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that I like watching really good directors in you know, I like to watch how they operate just because you learn from them. But yeah, I'd rather not direct, really, to tell you the truth.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's
The
kind of
answer
funny.
is no.
Well, I want to ask, did you guys make any changes? Like I'm kind of asking if you directed it.
Yeah.
And you can answer it based on the movie, but did you guys if you directed it, you know, did you guys make any changes or like any kind of
What do you mean? What kind of changes?
I don't know. Did you cuz you had seen the movie tons of times before? You know.
Well, like there were scenes in the play that weren't in the movie. Like there was a whole scene where Ethel was trying to kill a spider with a rake.
That sounds hilarious.
In the play.
Yeah.
And I remember that was almost like directing a dance scene because
Really?
she had to thump that rake and
Was it played for laughs or was it played
It was played for laughs.
Gotcha.
And I feel like there was a lot more talking, which is so funny because Ethel seemed like such a nature girl up there, but she didn't like bugs, and that was played up way more in the play than it was in the movie.
Cool.
Let's see what else was in there. Of course, we didn't have any of the outside stuff going on.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I mean, I don't know that we made too many changes or anything.
Okay.
Or you mean like brought something that I'd seen in the movie to the
Yeah,
play?
maybe something like that. Maybe.
See, I tried not to do that, and I
Right.
never said to the actors, watch the movie.
It's very on brand for you.
Watch YouTube. You know,
Yeah.
That's what.
Watch YouTube in 2002.
Yeah, some directors do that now.
Yeah.
You know, well, watch on YouTube. You know, and I was like,
So-and-so's performance.
I just don't like that. But anyway, you can get. I'm not saying it's terrible. You can get pointers and everything on how to make something better. But I think you run the risk of imitation when you do that.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. Well, did you have an actual answer for if I directed it for this one?
If I directed the movie,
Yeah, if you directed it section. Like,
see, I loved all of the outside the stage visuals. Of course, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
If I directed it, I might. I don't know. Maybe I would have given Chelsea a little more development.
Okay. Unpack that. I'm just kidding.
You what?
Unpack that.
Unpack that. Yeah, here we go again. I'll give her a little more space as a character.
Yeah.
Maybe Because sometimes she did come off as a little whiny. So maybe
some more depth there.
maybe just develop her character a little bit more and give her a little more time. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just think we need to hear a little more from Chelsea. Maybe.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I kind of said that I would want some kind of inward growth or self-realization from Norman.
Oh.
Because he doesn't really have so you can kind of see that he connects with Billy, but there is no real like looking in the mirror for him, essentially. Only when he finds the dead loon, and then he goes like, it's kind of that I'm going to die kind of thing, you know. But his whole journey, the family never really asks anything of him. He doesn't really have to like step up to fix anything with him and Chelsea or him and Ethel or whatever, or him and Bill really. And he doesn't really have any kind of like inward realization. And I think that could have been really powerful, I think. And
I'm not sure that the movie or the play would work very well if that happened.
You don't think so? Interesting.
No. I kind of think that it was so poignant at the end and emotional at the end because he just meets her at the level that he's able to meet her.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that, I mean, if
I see your point.
If he had any more realization about himself, and we don't know because he was internally conflicted.
Yeah.
I kind of think that it would not have been as impactful.
All right.
That's just
I'm good point.
Disagreeing with
you. No,
you.
that's all right. Well, while I sit here stewing, do you want to get into the acting?
Why certainly.
Yeah.
Why certainly. Okay.
So over here.
Jane Fonda, you know, like we said, she bought this because she
Yes.
wanted to provide a role for her father, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
We know Henry Fonda, one of the greatest American actors of all time, famous for being 12 Angry Men, Grapes of Wrath.
And that's
he
it.
was
no,
a
I'm
big,
kidding.
yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
He really was a big movie hero, and in this movie, he really strips away all those heroic qualities. He plays someone who's fearful, vulnerable, aging. I don't know that he plays vulnerable, but he's physically vulnerable anyway.
Yeah.
This aging, frail person, somewhat bitter. Yeah, but it was a vulnerable performance.
Yeah.
And I think there were some people who knew how ill he was also.
Yeah.
This is not the first time that Katharine Hepburn has played with an ill leading man. Of course, Spencer Tracy, she had a great love affair with him for many years. And he was dying when they did Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Oh, wow.
And
I don't think I've
so
seen
this
that.
is and I don't know that she knew how ill he was at the time. But anyway, it's one of, well, I mean, it's just one of his greatest performances. Katharine Hepburn just feels like she's like has always lived at the lake. You can totally buy that she has been married to him. And they said 40 years. She said, I'm in my 60s and you're in your 70s. She seemed way older. She seemed older than her 60s to me. Even if she was 69 years old, she was a little older. I would say.
Did she say she was in her 60s?
She says I'm in my 60s and you're in your 70s.
I thought they were both mid 70s.
And he said barely on both counts.
Yeah.
And so I really would have said I'm in my 70s and you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's what it felt like.
But he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would have guessed. He was in. At least. I don't know. I mean, my mother's in her 80s, and he seems to me way older.
Well, I wanted to. I think I wrote this down somewhere. Is that people like aged faster, even just back then in the 80s.
Yeah.
Have you ever? There's a really fun thing to do. Go back and look at like old like NFL or like NBA, like sports players when they were like 33 and they look like they're
in
probably
their
47.
50s, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like, oh my gosh, you know.
Right.
But yeah, people just looked older back then.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is that they didn't drink enough water. But I don't think I'm just like anytime I'm always talking to anytime I talk to someone who's above a certain age, it doesn't really look like they seek out water. It just kind of happens to them. And everyone I know who's my age or like around that age has like a huge water bottle they carry around
All the time.
That's
Yeah.
my theory, and I'm
Yeah.
sticking to it.
Didn't drink enough water.
But no, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, maybe
but
they were just
but-
thirsty all the time.
well,
walking
and
around.
there's just been advances in medicine and things like that
Yeah.
too. That you
Yeah.
know, even just in the past 30 years, 40
Mhm.
years. So, but yeah, no, I think you're right about the age thing. It was
Yeah.
a little,
Yeah.
but continue about your
Yeah.
acting.
No, I just. Well, I guess I said what did I say? I started talking about Ethel.
Oh, how
right?
yeah, she didn't seem like she was.
Oh,
she seemed like she was way
It
older.
said they were married for 40 years, but
Yeah.
I thought, well, they're surely married longer than that. But then Chelsea's supposed to be 30 something.
Yeah,
You know, so
and Jane Fonda was 43.
was she?
Yeah,
Okay.
in this role.
Okay.
So.
But anyway, it still seems like Katharine Hepburn and Henry Fonda have known each other for years, have been married for years. You can totally see, you know, their relationship. He talks about her being a substitute teacher when he was a principal, and then he eventually became a professor at a college, which it shows in the opening. It says Professor Thayer retires, you know. I really liked Jane Fonda's performance in this movie because I thought she did not overplay all those emotional wounds that Chelsea was supposed to have.
Which could have easily been done.
Yeah,
for sure.
And she still plays the part of a daughter needing approval really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also feel like she responds well because at this point in her life, she probably realizes she's pretty much knows that her father and really to a degree her mother are unable to fully give her the approval that she wants. I mean, Ethel approves of her and is kind to her and everything, but I think that Ethel's devotion to Norman, to an extent, is not good for Chelsea. I think that she feels like maybe Ethel's not fully on her side, although she trusts her a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Ethel at one point says, your mother ignored you, you know, because Ethel downplays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you don't understand. No,
Right.
You're wrong about your dad. You know all of this. I've always liked Dabney Coleman. He played a lot of smug, sarcastic. He played the villainous boss in the movie 9 to 5.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of smug, sarcastic characters. But he's very grounded and decent in this movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Which one is he again? Sorry. Which one is
He's
he?
Bill Ray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bill
Gotcha.
Ray. Does he speak English? Anyway, that was great.
Yeah.
But his scenes with Henry Fonda are some of the funniest. I
Yes.
think, of
Oh,
the
for
movie.
sure. Yeah.
And
That's where a lot of the comedy is.
yeah. Doug McKeon, who played Billy Ray Jr., good, you know, and he used potty mouth and all that.
Yeah.
And he started out to be he was going to be a teen star. What cracks me up about the movie poster is he looks like a little bitty boy on there, and he's not. He's really older than that. And
Yeah.
I
So
wonder if that bothered him.
I didn't look this up. Like, how old was he as a person? And because his like, I'm not gonna comment on how someone looks. He had like a strange look about him. Like he could either be like 13 or like almost 18. Like he kind of had this like double. And I was like,
he was smaller in stature.
Yeah,
and,
maybe,
and
yeah.
compact, you
Yeah.
know, and everything.
you know. And I'm not making fun of how he looks, but
Right.
like, you know, I
Right.
just was interesting to me. I was like, huh, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, we kind of said that Murray in Odd Couple was kind of the audience surrogate. I think Billy is the audience surrogate here because he tunes in to everybody, Ethel and Norman.
Yeah.
And tries to get Norman to open up.
Mm-hmm.
He slowly does get Norman to open up.
Yeah.
I just think that it was a very tough role for a kid to play. It's
Sure.
an easy role for him to overplay, but he's a good actor at that age, and
Yeah.
I think he he doesn't do anything anymore. I think he did a few teen flicks, and then I think he kind of. And I could be wrong. If you're out there, Doug McKeon, and you're still doing Broadway, and
we
stuff,
know
I'm
you're
sorry,
watching.
man. But he did keep the performance very natural.
Yeah.
Added a lot to the
Mhm.
the show movie.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do want to mention that Katharine Hepburn did all of her own stunts, which is awesome.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. She. How old was she? 74.
74. Yeah.
And like specifically the scene when she dives in to go get them after they've, she like they were like, can we please get someone else to do this? You are 74.
Nonsense.
And
Nonsense.
I'm going to dive.
I'm
in.
going to do it. Yeah.
But yeah, you could just see it. But yeah, she just always took the bull by the horns, and I love it. But yeah,
She didn't mess around.
I thought that was cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't mess around.
Didn't mess around.
That's right.
I like those women.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to I think it's about that time for our scene stealer. Who stood out to you and why in this movie?
Katharine Hepburn. Big
Nice.
surprise.
Yep.
They both had their Oscar moments.
Yep.
Henry Fonda especially. Because I just think Katharine Hepburn, she won 4 Oscars in her career, more than anybody.
Yeah.
She always called those prizes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we won the prize that year. We won the prize that year.
And it was a ball.
And it was, and I hope I'd be an awful bore if I would have lost, But she just kind of glides through that movie, controlling the emotional rhythm and effortless. Like I said, I said the word effortless before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But every scene that she's in works because of how she reacts.
Mm-hmm.
Or how she's standing there listening to what's going on. I mean, even when Jane Fonda is pouring out her heart, and Katharine Hepburn, she has that little palsy shake that she has. She did not have Parkinson's, but something. But, even that, that's a health issue for her.
Yeah.
But even that lends itself to the role. She's listening, and she's so concerned, and her head's shaking, and I'm not making fun of her. I'm just saying.
No, right, yeah.
Every part of her posture, and even that little shake.
Yeah.
She's got her hand on her chin, and she's listening.
Well, she's such a good actress that she made it work for her.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Whatever. It's real crazy.
Oh, she's so good.
But she's so good at redirecting energy in a scene or whatever.
Yeah.
And just her timing, like when he says, you're trying to kill me, when he's picking up dishes or something, and you're trying to kill me. I've thought about it. I mean, she just busts in and,
Yeah.
she just knows just how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Similarly, I picked specifically every scene with Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn together.
I love
that
them together.
Stole it for me.
Well, because their chemistry, like I said, they are so believable as an old married couple.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I wrote down that any scene with them two alone had me locked in because they just you would never believe that they had never met before this film,
right?
Before shooting, because they felt so lived in their roles. They felt so comfortable with each other. They felt like they had all these stories that you will never hear because they could never tell all of them because they have so much history or something. And it's like, oh, we met a few months ago. And it's they're just so good at
and I don't
jobs.
think Katharine Hepburn, from what I've heard, was not the type of person that would get too close to anybody. But the fact that she gave him Spencer Tracy's hat, I don't know. I think she wanted to connect.
Yeah.
And I think that the stories of her being so difficult are a little overblown just because she was such a strong woman, and a lot of people, overdid the stories because of that.
Yeah.
But,
well, like we said before, it's typical with I think stronger women
yeah.
back in the day.
Yep.
had
Yep.
a lot of struggles to deal with,
Right.
like
Yep.
Lucille Ball,
Yep,
like
definitely.
people like
Yep.
that. But yeah, who was your casting swap for this one?
I was thinking Anthony Hopkins would play a really good. Did you say Anthony Hopkins?
Yes.
Did you really? Are you kidding?
No.
Okay.
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
I also thought Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay,
and
good. I
he's-
didn't say that.
and he's supposed to be retired.
Oh, right.
Um,
He'd be awesome.
Yeah, the
I mean,
reason that
he's-
Anthony Hopkins came to mind is because I saw him in The Father, for which he won an Oscar, and he played a man with dementia. So he played that
Oh,
frail
Okay.
vulnerability.
Okay. See, mine's a little different, but go ahead. Keep
Yeah.
going.
So Emma Thompson. She has not been in anything lately.
Okay, I think I know who this
Yeah,
is.
I
but-
like her chemistry with Anthony Hopkins. They were in Howard's End together.
Okay.
Of course, it would be great to see some of the Glenn Close,
Right.
Meryl
Yeah.
Streep,
Yeah.
any of them
Quit
play.
naming people.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Quit naming people because I have.
Okay.
No, I'm
Yeah.
totally kidding.
Yeah. And then you mentioned Laura Linney earlier.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
she'd make a good Chelsea.
I don't think she's. Chelsea. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, she's not that old yet.
Yeah.
No.
No.
But yeah, she would make a great Chelsea.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could sit here and rattle off
Quit
names all
naming
the
them.
time. It might be
Don't name them. Don't do
Rachel McAdams might be too pretty to play. I'm not saying Laura Linney's not pretty, but you know what I mean. Like
Yes.
Rachel McAdams has that. It's not pretty I'm talking about. It's that cherubic kind of look to her face or something.
Do you want to dig the hole over here or keep going? No, I'm kidding.
Dive in. Laura
Yeah.
Linney's going to call me.
No,
and
I see what you
the
mean.
heck
No,
are
I know
you
exactly
talking
what you
about?
mean. No.
Laura Linney's beautiful. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that Rachel McAdams.
Laura Linney has more of a strength to her presence that you need for the
yeah,
role.
And Rachel McAdams is sort of wide-eyed. I don't know that she would fit in
Sure.
as Chelsea, but I'm just trying to think of really good
Yeah, I get
actresses
what
off
you-
the top of my head.
Yeah.
Um,
Quit naming them. You're going to step on my casting
Okay,
swaps.
sorry, go.
Okay. So obviously we know that I already picked Anthony Hopkins, but I have a really cool connection and like reason for this.
Okay.
So I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool to do a modern remake of this movie with like a similar feel to it? So I've got Anthony Hopkins as Norman because Hopkins actually worked alongside Katharine Hepburn on The Lion in Winter in 1968, which was his first major film.
Yep.
And
She also won the Oscar for that.
right, and he said that she gave him life-changing advice about acting on that set. So he's got that connection with Katharine Hepburn. And who is around the same age who has that same connection with Henry Fonda? Jane Fonda.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be so cool to see Jane Fonda play
Anthony
Ethel
Hopkins. Yeah.
with Anthony Hopkins, and because Jane Fonda obviously has that connection to Henry Fonda, it's her dad.
Yeah.
And I think that would be and the reason why I wanted to do this is because the reason this movie is so good is because of all the background behind it. And I was like, if you took that, where it's like Anthony Hopkins is, this great actor who got his jump start with Katharine Hepburn,
Yeah.
and then you have Jane Fonda who has all that history with her father, and
Mm-hmm.
then they come together and play these reprise roles where she was Chelsea beforehand. I think that would be so cool, and I think people would.
She'd never do it. I
Yeah,
bet
right. No. But
And she's 88.
right, and
I don't know how old Anthony Hopkins is.
87.
Okay.
So, but that
So they'd be all right. They just have to. It would be hard. They both look great for.
And that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Jane Fonda looks phenomenal for her age.
people look younger now.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't know that they still would be believable enough to think that they've gotten in a car and driven up from upstate New York.
That's
to
true.
On
Yeah,
Golden Pond.
Yeah. Well, if this is casting swap for all actors of all time, I'm just going to age them 10 years
Yeah.
down.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I'll just do
but
that.
that would be really interesting
Right?
to see that.
Like just a little connection
Yeah.
thing. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, it would be cool if Katharine Hepburn had some kids who were also actors and they played it together or something. But, she never had kids.
She could have never been a mother.
but,
I'm sorry. She just
She's too much of a firebrand. She was, yeah.
Well, and
But-
she was very adamant. In fact, there's a famous story where
really?
where she met Jane Fonda and she said, "I don't like you, and here's why." Well, can't you just imagine her saying
Yes.
that?
I don't like you.
I don't like you. I don't think that was the first thing she said, but
Yeah.
she basically said, "I don't like you because you've you've had a career and you had children, and you should pick one or the other.
Wow.
She was against people who chose careers but also had kids because and really, she's like, you cannot do an adequate job raising kids. Her parents were very devoted and involved in her upbringing and her brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And of course her dad was a doctor, but see, her mother was brilliant and really stopped doing what she was doing in order to take care of the kids. Although she still was like a big suffragette working for the women's movement back then and all of that stuff. So.
Well, and it's very interesting because I agree with Katharine Hepburn being like, I'm going to choose my career because I know that I probably couldn't raise children and do this at the same time. I think that's very respectable, actually.
Yeah.
Because you that in a way is loving children in a way, right? Because you're going like, I know that I can't do this, so I'm going to step out of and not. But I don't agree with shaming someone else who chooses both, because it can be done,
right? Right.
But yeah, no, that's interesting. I had a little fun fact, that I forgot to mention earlier, but Jane Fonda called Katharine Hepburn to congratulate her on winning Best Actress.
I know this story. Yeah.
So and then because Jane had been nominated but lost the year before for Best Supporting Actress. Jane had been nominated for this
supporting actress,
Best Supporting and lost. Sorry,
she lost.
Yeah, and
she won a couple times.
Right, but Hepburn didn't attend the ceremony. Obviously, she famously never did. But she was on stage at a Broadway play when she. But sorry. When Jane Fonda called Katharine Hepburn, Hepburn's response was, "You'll never catch me now."
You'll never catch me now.
Which
is exactly
the funniest.
That's
it's the most Katharine Hepburn thing ever.
Yeah. I won the prize.
No, that's good. You'll never catch me now. Which is so Katharine Hepburn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, anything else in the do you want to connect it more to you directing your production of this or anything before we move on to hot takes and all that stuff? Or do you have anything else that was left unsaid that you'd like to dive into?
I think that I did want to mention that I wrote down some things about the theater production.
Yeah, please do.
If you noticed in this movie, there's a lot of silence. There's a lot of the scenes and silence matters a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Because I think that all of the characters spent time thinking.
Yeah.
And then of course we see the lake and we see the woods and we see
right.
Actors, when you are in a play, you really learn to listen to one another almost peripherally. Does that even make sense?
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to do that in order to catch.
Yeah.
You have to play off. You can't just say, now it's time for me to say my lines. You've got to listen. And you can feel that throughout the film, that they all listen to one another.
Mm-hmm.
The pauses and the hesitations and things that actors learn to do on stage, you could see that in the movie too. It was just, I just thought that I should say that listening and silence and the pauses and all of that were important to the story. And I don't even know why I wanted to mention that here, but I kind of wrote that down in my theater lens notes.
Yeah. So how did you guys do that? So I guess on stage you very much just kind of stayed back and.
I remember whenever Norman and Chelsea were having their resolution talk together, resolving things between one another.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be full of weighty hesitation, where she's trying to search for what she wants to say to him. It almost seemed like the actors had forgotten their lines somewhat.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, I'm not going to say anything. There are people that you work with in theater who are notorious for not knowing their lines, and you get to where you don't want to cast them because of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, and there's another scene. There are scenes in the play Steel Magnolias, same thing, where there's just this heavy, quiet hesitation.
Yeah.
And you think, oh gosh, they've forgotten their lines, but no, They hadn't. It makes the audience uncomfortable. And so I think that was very evident during the scene between Chelsea and Norman.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I was going there, but anyway,
It's okay.
you said, how is it done? Is that what you said?
No. Well, no.
It's terrible when we forget what the question
I'm
is.
bad. I definitely my bad. I definitely I asked you like how did you guys do that on stage and stuff like that, which you answered. So you're fine.
It just has to seem natural, as if she knows, she's known what she wanted to say to him all these years, and yet it's not coming out easily. So you have to portray that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
What's your hot take?
I thought Chelsea was judged too harshly at times.
I'm walking out. No.
Is that what you wrote?
What was your what did you pick?
Defending the least liked character.
Oh,
that
that
what
was
you
the
picked?
one I picked. Yeah.
Oh, I have your note down. Were you going to say something about Chelsea?
Yeah. That's
Oh my
my
gosh.
hot take.
Well, then I guess when you shared your document, were your notes already in there?
No. Are they? Oh.
It might be.
Okay.
So I have down unpopular opinion. So I'm going to defend this movie because a lot of people thought it was sappy.
Go ahead.
They of course loved the performances, but you didn't say that. This is not you, is it? Unpopular opinion?
No.
Okay.
No, I had defend the character.
I'm sorry. You can go ahead and go on with that, can't you?
Honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, some of the critics said this movie was too heavy on the sentimentality.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's because, like I said, we were going toward blockbusters like E.T. and Star Wars and all these big, and so this little
there weren't enough explosions.
You're right. This little sweet little movie came in here, and so I think that a lot of critics view the sentimentality as a weakness, and I'm going to tell you here, I think it's a strength. I think that modern day movies are often just afraid of sincerity, and they're afraid to commit to any of that type of, even because they're afraid, they're going to think we're sentimental.
I think that's fair. It's not. It's afraid it's not entertaining enough.
Right. And on Golden Pond just doesn't seem like it cares, and it's like
it's kind of cool.
I'm gonna commit to that emotional intensity, whatever. Not emotional intensity, but emotional honesty.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Cool.
I'm sorry I stepped on you.
It's okay.
I'm going to be careful about my notes from now on.
It's okay.
We share documents to prepare for this thing. And so sometimes.
And Dad doesn't really know what's going on most of the time. So we need to, I have to hold his hand and I have to be, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, you literally you're the star. Okay. Defend the hated character. That's what I picked. I have like little sections, hot takes for us to choose from. And I always list which one I did. So that.
We're supposed to pick different ones.
Yeah. So we have different little takes. But no one is really hated, right? There's not like a hated character.
The least liked.
And I'm not saying Chelsea's the least liked, but she's framed as the most difficult one probably throughout the film, because a lot of Norman's difficultness is played up for comedy and charm. So you kind of go like, "Aw," with Norman, but then when Chelsea's difficult, you're like, "Oh, she needs to just grow up and reconcile with her father."
Right.
And I kind of think that, like, Chelsea's father spent her entire childhood being distant and emotionally withholding, and she's in her 40s just trying to get him to acknowledge her and her life. And so I think that, like I said before, Norman's kind of what's the word I wrote down? Crankiness. That is written down for like comedy and to be charming and almost kind of cute, like old man. Oh, he's a cranky old man. It's kind of cute. And then, but like, and Ethel kind of goes around like managing that and kind of explaining him to everybody.
Right.
And it's like, I kind of think that Norman kind of needs to grow up a little bit. And I don't think Chelsea's the problem.
Yeah.
And so I think that we need to, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, we're kind of giving a lot of passes to Norman because he's a cute old man and just a charming old cranky old guy. Yeah. And Chelsea's not given that same pass.
Old folks get to that point where you just dismiss them.
You just let them do whatever. Which in a way is kind of infantilizing.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of it's a little
They
objectifying.
don't know any better.
Yeah, right.
you know.
And so and it's so and you know, I don't think anybody wants to be treated that way.
Mhm.
So, you know, I kind of go like, no, Norman needs to kind of grow up and
Needs
be
to be
like,
held accountable.
hey, I'm
Yeah.
I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I empathize with Chelsea a lot in this.
Yeah.
You know, because I have an estranged relationship with my father, and it's really hard to talk to
Very
him.
strained. Very strained. Yeah.
No, just
Well,
kidding.
I mean, when you talk about that emotional damage like
Mhm.
Chelsea has experienced, whether Norman intended it or not,
Yeah,
it's there.
right.
And if you know,
Well, and it, you know, I don't think that Norman intended the emotional damage, but he's the dad. You know, he was the adult for all those years,
Yeah.
and I think he needs to own up to that. You
Yeah.
know, it's I just don't think Chelsea is the difficult one.
yeah.
You know, and then that's really as close as to defend the hated character I
Mhm.
can get. You know,
Well, that's funny because I don't have your notes, but I guess my I had chosen two different because yours was crossed out, the one that you picked,
Mhm.
but I guess I had chosen two different to respond to. So apologies for trying to
Just
steal
kidding.
your thunder. It is
Who
called Movie
cares?
Nights with Dad.
you're like, I'm the dad. I'm the star. You totally Hepburned me. You went, I'm the star. I can do whatever I want.
Who is this podcast about anyway? Yeah,
That's great.
So are we ready for double feature?
Let's do it.
You do it first. I don't want to steal.
I'm gonna name 6 and hope that I name one of yours. I'm gonna do
Did
it
I
to you.
just hit that with
I'm
my
just
foot?
kidding.
Did I do anything?
Which one?
That
Oh yeah,
was
our
the-
entire podcast shut down. I'm just kidding. No, you're good.
Okay.
Oh, actually, here I might move this a little bit.
Okay. I don't want to kick anything.
You're good. I picked. You're gonna love this.
yawning so much.
Because-
so bored by you.
Sorry. Gosh.
It's
no,
late
I'm
afternoon and it's raining
kidding.
outside.
It is raining, so it's very like sleepy movie nights with Dad. So when I watched this movie, it felt like a Mark Tullis movie. And so
Here we go again.
because it was you know, very like sweet and like, you know, wholesome, but it had that like that core, and it felt very, and you yourself said you were like, I watched this so many times.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that until, you know, just before we started filming. So I picked 84 Charing Cross Road
Okay.
because I think that
And didn't you say that was a Mark Tullis movie?
yes,
Too?
it was a very Mark Tullis movie because it was a British guy and then a lady who'd mess around.
Well, that's funny because
Yeah.
our mutual friend Mark Warnock years ago,
Yeah.
we watched Lion in Winter together, and he goes, "Oh, this is a total Mark Tullis movie because
Oh, really?
it's full of like biting, sarcastic, like you know, just put downs and things." And so I guess that's what he thought of me. Where you think I'm sweet and Mark thought I
don't
was-
think you're sweet. I think that you like these kind of movies. No, it's because,
Shout out Mark Warnock.
Yeah, shout out Mark Warnock. 84 Charing Cross Road has the very like British guy because you love British people, and then it has the lady who doesn't mess around, and this one has the lady who doesn't mess around, but it doesn't have the British guy, but it has the old people, and you are like,
I like old
I
people.
love old people.
And you are.
so-
I thought you were going to say you are.
you
old.
are old, and so
Yeah.
you connect. No, but I was gonna say, if you liked this, I think 84 Charing Cross Road is
Yeah.
right up your alley
Good.
because it's
Yeah.
got that same like quiet relational energy. It's all about relationships, and it kind of like just kind of asks you to be patient and present
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
story and just kind of follow along. And so yeah, I think if you really loved this one, go check out 84 Charing Cross Road.
Yeah.
I think you'd really like it.
Right.
So yeah.
Yep.
What about you?
My double feature, I thought of The Straight Story, which is from 1999. It is about this old guy who they will not allow him to drive anymore. And so he needs to go see his brother who is dying, and he ends up riding his lawnmower across the United States. And it's based on a true story.
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah.
I've heard about that. That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
Very emotionally honest, just like on Golden Pond.
Yeah.
Movie about aging, movie about regret, movie about reconciliation, all that. So it would be a good one. And
Yeah.
then I thought, what about Driving Miss Daisy?
Oh yeah.
About aging.
Right.
It's good too.
Classic.
Yeah. And it's about, even though they're not married, a very good relationship between Miss Daisy and her friend Hope.
Yep.
So
Cool. Well,
that's it. Toyota.
Toyota.
You got it, Toyota. I meant. Never mind.
Are we sponsored by Toyota?
We're sponsored by. Remember, it's Toyota commercials. Toyota commercials used to say, "You got it, Toyota." Why did I say that's it, Toyota? I have no idea.
It's okay, Grandpa.
I wish we could have. I wish we could have started this again, because that's something like you said in the last podcast at the beginning. We started again.
No, I'm the
Some
producer.
of you out there will remember "You Got It, Toyota." You got it, Toyota. That's what. And so
Really?
yeah. And I don't know why I say that's it, Toyota. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's all, folks. Porky
Guys, thanks
Pig.
for what? No, I'm kidding. No, you have to give me your rating out of 10.
Oh yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
9 out of 10. Okay.
9 out of 10. I'm not going to say it's perfect. I just think it's simple story. It's timeless.
Yeah.
It's just one that you don't mind watching over and over again, if nothing else for the scenery.
Yeah.
I have the soundtrack. The music from the movie is so good. It's just an honest, truthful movie.
Cool. I
Yeah.
gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh boy.
Only because if you don't know anything about any of these actors or their history or whatever, and you're just kind of going in blind,
Yeah.
it's like, it's still a good movie, but it's not going to blow your socks off,
Yeah.
And so, but if you know Hollywood, if you know the relationships, and you know the how important this movie is, you go, wow.
Yeah.
I know, like, I feel like movie critics, film buffs would give this a 10 out of 10, but I gave it an 8 out of 10 because I'm not one of those, and I think that I went in kind of blind, and I was like, oh, I know these people, but
Yeah.
I don't really know the history or anything,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but yeah. That's why I gave it
Fair
a
enough,
little
fair
bit lower.
enough, fair
I'm just
enough.
trying to be honest.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yep.
I would recommend this to people who either know about old Hollywood or want to learn more about it, because
Interesting.
you've got two actors in the twilight of their careers, and then all of the real drama behind it in the background that kind of makes it what it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I would recommend it to people who enjoy actor-driven films.
Yes.
I would recommend it to anybody who has a heart for older folks. It's just a great story.
Really good. Well,
Yeah.
guys, thank you for coming this week to Movie Nights with Dad.
Yes, thank you for our 40th.
Our 40th episode.
Number 40.
We're clearing right through it. I still feel like we're just getting started. It's kind of funny. But yeah, for next week we're going to continue Summer from the Stage with Don't Drink the Water, which he's going to put his glasses up for that. Which you played. Who'd you play?
Jack,
That's right.
the Russian
And for this,
KGB.
there's a lot of discourse about which movie you should watch for Don't Drink the Water. We just went with the 1969 version, and
With
there
Jackie
was
Gleason.
there was no real reason for that, right? We just kind of did that because it was the first one, and we just did that. So maybe we should have done the other one, and we don't know. We'll
Won't tell you too much yet.
we'll talk about it in the next episode.
Watch it though.
So go ahead and watch
Jackie
it.
Gleason,
Yeah, Jackie
know?
Gleason
Yeah.
and a couple
Estelle
of
Parsons.
Yes, Estelle Parsons, I was going to say. But yeah, guys, thank you for coming.
Yep.
Thank you. If you watched all 40 episodes,
I don't think there's anyone out there who's watched all 40, but if there is,
I was going to say, if you've watched all 40, text me, because you probably are close enough to my friend that you're, or a family member that you have my number and you could just text me.
Yeah.
No, but movie nights with dad at gmail.com. Even if years from now you've watched all the way up from this point,
even if
or
you've watched
something,
30 out of 40, we want to
pretty cool. Yeah.
Or 25.
I know. Comment below, like and subscribe, share this with your friends. It helps us a lot to grow the podcast and things like that. But we're just really appreciative of all you guys. So
We are.
thank you for coming, and
Yeah.
thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, son.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.